Our next presenter, I mean, there's so many things that I can say about this person. She is an author, a quilter, a storyteller, an inspirational speaker, all kinds of things. Songwriter, author, midnight quilter. I think I could go on forever. There was even a song that she had about the things that she does. She just never quits. She's a TV show host for Smart Start Kids, Saturdays at 11:30 on WRAL, and she's won 2 Emmys. I'm done introducing this woman. I'm just going to let y'all enjoy her now. This is Miss Willa Brigham.
I'm a midnight quilter in the winter time. I put them together line after line when my family is asleep and nobody in my house will bother me. I love to make stuff. I cannot help myself. I took a class that said you can make a quilt top in a day. All right, so I made 3, 6, 15. All right, it's 115 at this point. But they need to be finished because I love to make stuff. I love the colors of the feel of the fabric. I like the brightness. I have the nerve to invite my family to help me make a quilt, right? Wrong decision. I asked them to bring a square to the family reunion. A year later, they show up and say, I want it in there. Well, it's too late. But the quilt brings everybody smiles every time they see it. And at the family reunion one year, the quilt had to get to the show by itself because I left it at home on the step. I met the G's Benz quilters, and they made quilts out of everything. They were the first recyclers. So when I saw blue jeans for $1 at the resale store, they begged me to take them home, and I did. So as you can see, I used the pockets. This quilt has 15 cousins just like that. At the scrap exchange, I find the most beautiful fabric. Now, you can't go to the scrap exchange and not leave with a whole bunch of stuff. And you know the stuff you got? Somebody died before they gave it up. And I bought it. And one quilt is never enough. I like to make stuff, remember? So I have to make lots of them. My husband says, what are you doing to my shirt? I said, baby, I saved the collars. This one's called Turn My Collar. He did not think that was very funny, but the quilt was absolutely delightful. And the collars are there to remind him that, yes, once upon a time, he did have shirts that looked just like that. But when I make things, I make them because it's fun. I love to keep busy. I'm that woman that needs stuff to do. Otherwise, I would chase strange men, and my husband would not like that. So when I went to visit my mother, she was making purses. I said, whoa, that is so cool. And of course, you have to make one in every color. 40 years later, they're still at the house. I have to use them because my mother helped me make them. I go to places where you make stuff. I went to a retreat and they were making drums. The first drum, I paid attention. The second drum, I did not. I will never be able to cut the skin off that drum and trim it because that skin is just like the animal, hard as an animal's skin when dry. But that's not the only thing they were selling. They was teaching you to make a shaker braid. Now, everybody needs a shaker braid. I mean, don't you need noise in your house? Of course you do. And I have to use various colors because white is all right. But can you imagine the pink one, the green one, the yellow ones? My shaker braids have style because they have color. And for some reason, there's always the minister's wife, and she's always making jewelry. So you sit down and you make jewelry and you learn a new Bible verse. Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. But it's beautiful because you have all of these things that you made that you said, I did that. And there's pride in making stuff because remember, I love to make stuff. And when I was walking on the beach with my lovey and I saw these beautiful bleached white shells, I looked down and he says, oh God, more stuff. I said, Mother Nature sent these to me. I know they were sent to me because every shell has a hole already in it, and I don't have to put one there. It was divine inspiration. Remember, I was at the scrap exchange, and all those shells and beads and leftover fabric that somebody died and left for me? Well, you never know what to do with them. Have you had that jar of buttons at the bottom of whatever, and they just stay there? You are never going to fix that button that fell off that shirt. It's going to end up in the jar, and I'm going to buy the jar and take it home and make stuff like that. And after I make it, I say, I still got some leftover. So you make more creations. You let your mind go wild. You make yourself happy. You don't have to spend a lot of money. Remember, I got it at the scrap exchange, the most wonderful place in the world to buy stuff. And remember, my problem is I like to make stuff. This flower in the round was made with felt and beads and upholstery fabrics. But the problem with all of that is I sing while I create. So I ended up with 4 CDs for children. I sing about standing in line and sharing and being kind and good nutrition and brown bread is better than white because it has fiber in it. I sing about that stuff. Now, the problem with that is their mothers got upset because I didn't make anything for them. So I had to sing about stuff for adults. Sitting in my wing chair, looking at the dirty floor. I don't want to clean it, so I'm walking back out the door. So they buy my CDs. I entertain myself when I'm quilting. And while I'm quilting, I think of all the things that goes on into your life when your girlfriend calls you on the phone and says, hey, what are you doing? I said, I'm making a portrait quilt just for you. She says, for me? I said, yeah. Well, you got 4 other girlfriends that you got, and you claim they're your very best friends from high school, so you can't give one and not give the other. So you take this and you create some more. Lots of them. Remember, I can't do just one. And with all of this, get this. I actually got an invitation to teach on a cruise ship. The Norwegian Cruise Lines want me to teach portrait making on a cruise in February, and you can come and go with me too. Now, the interesting part about that is not only did I make the art itself, I turned the art into, ta-da, note cards. Sid McGregor took my art and made them into note cards. So I have my art, I make my art, and then I write notes about my art and send them to my friends. Is that too cool? That's not all. Once you finish the note card, you go to someplace else because you're bound to find something. My girlfriend that were quilters were making t-shirt quilts, and they had leftover t-shirts, and they said, what are you going to do with it? I said, well, surely you're going to make a t-shirt necklace and a t-shirt bracelet and a t-shirt hat band. And they said, good Lord, you go on with your stuff. I said, I know I got a problem. I like to make stuff. After I give them to my grandchildren, I was at a Renaissance festival and I saw this woman finger weaving, and she says, would you like to try? I said, no, I'll need supplies. She says, oh, honey, go on. It's just a little bit more stuff. So I learned how to make these that she was putting on her wristbands and on her hat bands, but I call them bookmarks because my latest creation is I wrote that book because remember, I like to make stuff. I'm Willa Brigham, and you can make some stuff too.